Well, if you're the village slut, all I gotta say is it's sink or swim, baby.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are
Stop! A lot of energy right now.
We've talked about this. You're not supposed to interrupt my intros, and you've been doing it a lot lately, and it's just...
I feel like it's...
Really? Get out of my nerves!
I feel like it's part of who I am.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, off. Today we're talking about witches, you know, like the green people that ride on broomsticks. No, that's myth. That's myth. There's real witches out there and they need to be addressed. Out. Facts now.
Fact, witches are whores.
No. You just offended so many people.
I'm just kidding. Well, fact, 50,000 of those accused whores died in the 16th and 17th century.
Dude, you cannot use whores as an interchangeable word for witch. People will be offended.
Okay, fine. When we get further into it, that'll be...
It'll make sense.
Yeah, it'll be explained. Okay, but...
If you're a witch and you think that we just called you a whore, just wait, okay? It gets better, I swear.
Yeah, please don't cast any... I believe in spellcraft. I really don't.
Well, no, I heard that they need your last name and, like, your mom's maiden name, so...
Where the f did you hear that from?
A witch.
Oh, okay.
I'm serious.
Was it the one that we saw at Dead Children's Playground?
No, but I use that Friends app. We'll talk about that in a second. That probably raised a lot of questions within most of you. No, but it's on that. I use an app to network, and I met this person who said they were a witch, and I was like, oh yeah, if you're a witch, then curse me. And they were like, okay, I need your last name and your mother's maiden name and something else about me. And I was like, you know what? Never mind.
And your favorite childhood pet's name?
It's like they're trying to get in the password for my Apple account.
That's all witchcraft really
We're also
is.
going to need your social security number.
Does that mean those people, those Indian men that call you trying to get your information, does that mean that they're technically witches?
Holy shit. Yeah, next time one calls me, I'll be on the phone. I'll be like, witch! And then hang up on him and I'll be like, what the fuck? Okay, anyways, do you want to actually talk about witches now?
Yeah, I don't know why this brought up a list of fictional witches, but that's not what I wanted.
How unprofessional of you.
Okay, you can shut up. American Council of Witches is apparently a thing. Actually, that's a bad place to start. Witchcraft.
Yeah, let's go for the history.
Witchcraft was originally like one of the first times it was like mentioned was in the Old Testament, in the Bible actually.
Solomon.
And they say it was like
the Witch of Endor.
It was like 900 BC. No, it was Saul. King Saul.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
You went to a Christian school.
So did you!
For less than you did.
Yeah, and also you knew the answer. That was probably the main argument you should have started with there.
So King Saul. So in that story in the Bible, King Saul called for the Witch of Endor.
Can we make a Star Wars joke about that? Witch of Endor? That's gotta be where George Lucas got the inspiration for the moon of Endor, right?
I knew that sounded familiar. I don't know my Bible stories well enough to have known that previously. Anyways, Witch of Endor, he calls upon her, right? He wanted to call upon the soul of somebody. Do you remember who it was?
Samuel, I think. The prophet Samuel, because he wanted help to defeat the Philistines.
Yeah, the Philistines. And she gave him an answer he did not like. When he asked her to do this, she was like, okay, so I did it, but you and all of your sons are gonna die.
He's like, she's like, good news is I got a hold of Samuel for you. Bad news is you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. So she was like, yeah, so this is the bad news. Y'all are all gonna die fairly soon.
And he was like, cheeks clapped.
And I'm pretty sure he like, did he have her killed?
I don't know about that, but what I do know is that this was during a time when Saul could have just talked to God, and instead he went to a witch who was probably like in a janky ass hut somewhere really shady and asked to talk to a dead person.
Yeah, and they believed, and it's been said throughout history that witches are tied to paganism and neo-paganism. and like thought of as devil worshippers, but it's not always the
I don't think that
case.
they always worship the devil, but I think that like they unbeknownst to them, yes.
That sounded very educated.
I'm a
kind of
professional at speaking. They like get their power because God doesn't want them to like have those powers. So like even if it's unbeknownst to them, is that how you say that word, unbeknownst?
I think so. Just go with
Okay.
it. It sounds cool.
They get their power from the devil. Like the devil gives them power to make them like think that they have power. But I don't know if that's always the case. Maybe God could give people powers too, and then you could call them a witch. I don't know.
Okay, well, regardless,
That was stupid.
King-
Sorry, guys.
King Saul did indeed die. His 3 sons died in battle against the Philistines, and then he was like, "Well, I'm out," and then he killed himself.
Yeah,
so-
you want to know how he killed himself? Do you know?
No.
He asked his armorer to kill him, but his armorer wouldn't do it. He was too much of a pussy.
I was about to say, what a bitch.
Yeah, I know.
I would have been like, "Why are you here then? What do I pay you for? You piece of shit."
Yeah. He set his sword up in the ground, like he dug a hole and set his sword up, and then he fell on top of it.
Oh,
it's
like-
kind of like taking a selfie. Like you set the camera up and you take the selfie of yourself.
I was gonna say it's like what are they called in Japan?
Oh,
samurai.
Yeah.
Samurai. They killed themselves that way.
Yeah, they do the Sudoku.
Sudoku.
It's like
Seppuku or something.
Sapooperoni.
Yeah, okay, well, so that happened. Anyways, then you fast forward, and I remember, I don't know if anyone else remembers, but I remember very vividly in high school learning about the Salem witch trials and us making jokes for like a whole semester about the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
That's where me and you were cracking jokes a second ago. It's like, how could I get Bill's house? If there were a possibility.
You want to reenact the scene, one of the scenes we just did? Which one you want to do? Should I be Cindy or Bill?
Do Cindy first.
Cindy, okay. I'd be like, I'm Alex's wife in this story, okay? That paints the picture, okay?
Hey, hubby, what do you think of Sydney?
I think she's hot as shit. Big tits.
Yeah, you think you'd feck her? You'd feck her hard?
Yeah, really
okay.
good.
And then I go to the authorities. Yeah, that bitch is a witch. And that's how that went down.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, so in that time era, that's when you see witchcraft not being taken as seriously, because then we've got
Less
what was her name?
broomsticks.
Abigail Williams or some shit. And I don't know what book it was that we had to read about that specifically, but
I think it was Narnia.
that wasn't even in this country.
It's the Scarlet Letter, buddy.
No, it's not.
Really? I thought that's what you were talking about. That was during the Salem stuff.
No.
She had to wear the A because she was a whore.
Oh.
Remember that?
Oh, so we're bringing whores back into this.
Oh, yeah. We need to explain that.
Well, we kind of just did.
Yeah, basically, if somebody was, like, thought of as a whore, they would just be like, oh, you're a witch. And then they'd burn them alive. So that's cool.
Yeah, okay, and then also...
Sink or swim, sink or swim.
Yeah, I was about to say, so also apparently there was this logic through these times, because I also haven't clarified this. The church looked down upon... Hold on. The church looked down upon
Down upon on the pond on.
shut the hell up. The church looked down on witchcraft, right? But then, okay, I read this article and it said that through like biblical text, people started to like question whether or not witchcraft was real, right? So then the church basically confirmed like, oh yeah, it is. But then people started taking to paganism and becoming witches, and they were like, okay, so we confirmed this, that it's an actual thing, and then people took an interest to it. Now there's lots of witches. We're gonna kill all of them. And it's like, if they just wouldn't have said anything, it would have avoided a lot of that. But
Yes. Okay, now we have to explain sink or swim.
okay, so that being said, their logic at the time around like the Salem witch trials was they would throw the accused into a lake, a body of water, and if they floated, they would kill them because they were a witch. Because if you float in water, you're obviously a witch.
Floating is witchcraft.
And then if you sank and drowned, it would be proof that you're not a witch.
Yeah, obviously. Michael Phelps is a witch.
Nobody really wins in that scenario.
Yeah, except for the people that throw him in the water.
Yeah, they just get to stand there and kind of have a show.
Yeah. And especially if you didn't like that person, or if like they were one of the people that you accused and you wanted their land and you were like, oh, they're a witch, and then they threw them in the water, you could just be sitting there thinking about like, oh yeah, that land is gonna be real nice.
While that came out of your mouth hole,
Yeah,
I was
that knowledge.
Yeah, I was thinking I bet they never ever once went to like a pastor or someone within the church or like a preacher and were like, I don't know, this is kind of suspicious, you might be a witch, and ever put them to that trial of like throwing them in a body of water.
That's true.
That the other thing I read about had to do with like gender, that it was like a gender thing too. It said that only 25% of witches like throughout recorded history were men, and they claimed it to be kind of like a gender focused thing, because women, they haven't been the most respected throughout history.
Yeah, this was a very sexist time. Well, most of history has been a very sexist time.
Yeah, it really has.
Yeah, there were laws in like throughout history where like a guy could go and smash whoever he wanted to, but the woman, if she did it and she was married, they would put her to death. And the only reason it was like that is because like the women can get pregnant and the dudes can't, so it's not a big deal if the guy does it.
And because men have fragile masculinity.
Sure, yeah. Fast forward to modern day witches. There's
Sabrina, the teenage witch.
No. I'm talking about the Witches of Waverly Place, you dumbass.
It's wizards.
Oh!
You piece of garbage.
Dang it.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I'll still give you a forehead kiss tonight.
Sweet. There's clearly been people who have claimed to be witches nowadays, and I really wouldn't screw with them, like if you know one, just...
Oh, the Dead Children's Playground.
Yeah, we gotta tell that story. So the first time we ever encountered something like this, and I was like, haha, this lady's crazy. But as time's gone on and I've learned more about like spirits and stuff, which we'll get to more in later episodes, I'm very concerned about that night when we met that witch. We were with Alex's ex and we went to this place called Dead Children's Playground, which is like a haunted place that we will tell about later in a future story. When we were walking out, this lady dressed as a witch was like walking towards the playground with her little daughter, and she was like,
Oh, were you guys at the playground?
and we were like, yes, ma'am. And she was like,
Oh, that's awesome. I've been coming for years, and this is my first time taking my little daughter here.
and then we were like, oh, cool. And she's like, yeah, we're witches. And I was like, yes, you are dressed as a witch. Very good. But as she continued to talk about being a witch, we learned that she's actually a witch who talks to spirits and puts down salts to keep the evil spirits out of her house. And I remember very vividly her telling me this one story, which is a lot for me because I forget like everything. But she told me this one story and she was like, yeah, this one time I thought there was an evil spirit in my house, and I was like, get out, evil spirit. But then I realized it was just a family member and started laughing, and I was like, I want to go home. But that said, I can confirm that the spirits and all of that stuff is real, because I've witnessed stuff firsthand since my Uncle Clinton has passed away that I cannot refute with any other logic besides the fact that there is some spiritual stuff that happens once you die where you can interact with people.
Yeah, but that's not all that witchcraft is. You're getting off towards paranormal stuff, which
Yeah,
we'll talk about at
there's
a
also like
different time.
curses and stuff. Is that what you were getting at?
Yeah, there's if once again, I'm the guy here talking about TikTok, but
Oh my god!
no, listen, hear me
continue.
out. There's some interesting stuff I come across sometimes once I scroll far enough after 2 hours of being on there, but sometimes I get over onto witch talk.
No way.
That's what they call it, is witch talk. And there's like,
Oh.
I've seen people like explain how to do spells. Like you put certain things in a jar. It's like you kill a rabbit and cut off its foot and put an actual rabbit's foot in a jar.
That's lucky.
And then you're supposed to put like rose water and then like a dollar bill and like these different things into a jar.
What does that spell do?
It's supposed to like be a spell of like wealth.
I'll be right back.
I'm
You gotta
going.
go kill a rabbit.
No, it's I'm going rabbit hunting.
I'm going rabbit hunting.
Oh man, what else was it? A rose something?
What?
I'm sure you have to do some
There's
dark.
there's way more, and then you have to like say these words.
Yeah, you probably have to talk to some fucked up shit to get that to work, and that's just not worth it. Don't mess around with spirits and
I
stuff.
kind of want to do the wealth.
Dude,
The
it's
wealth spell. My wealth spell is gonna be on the hub.
Jeez. No, Alex. as a fellow Choccy-Milkmen, I cannot allow this to happen. Well, is there anything else we want to talk about?
Oh shit! I almost forgot. Wizard 101, bro. The best game to ever.
Why are you this way?
The best game to ever exist. Okay, are you ready? I don't know if this is a real thing that carries over into the real world, but I just wanna I just want to clarify. In Wizard 101, the different types of witchcraft are the School of Fire, which are pyromancers, the School of Ice, which is thaumaturges, the School of Myth, which is conjurers, the School of Storm, which is diviners, and the School of Life, which is theurgists. And then the School of Death is necromancers, and the School of Balance is sorcerers. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say right now, if you play Wizard 101, School of Death represent Timor Mortis Conturbat Me, which means the fear of death confounds me.
If a necromancer brings somebody back to life,
Is it necrophilia?
that's what I was gonna say. If you fuck them, is it necrophilia? Are you a necrophiliac
Or
at
is
that
it
point?
just necromancy still?
How does that make sense? Oh no, I guess you'd have to be a thaumaturge a little.
Thaumaturge?
No, that's the ice one, isn't it? There's like
Theurgist.
a theurgist to
School of
bring
Life.
them back to life. But necromancy.
No, necromancy lifts people from the dead.
Yeah. So I guess they. Dude, think about it. What if your girlfriend has been raised from the dead by a necromancer?
Dude,
You
none of
wouldn't-
us are real.
Oh, okay.
None
Well,
of
that explains it, I guess.
Nothing's real.
Solid argument. We could talk about that sometime. That one theory where everything disappears when you're not seeing it. Anyways, you guys can chew on that while we move on with our days.
Yeah, chew on it.
I hope you guys enjoyed our dive into witchcraft. If you'd like us to do a part 2, we can dive even deeper into witchcraft, or we can talk about whatever you guys would like. We're open to suggestions again, whether it be government, technologies, aliens, or anything like that. We're saving paranormal for Halloween time. The month of October is probably going to be chock full of
Spooktober!
Ooh! It's gonna be full of lots of Halloween, it's gonna be full of lots of paranormal activity for that month. So we're gonna save that for them. But anything else you guys would want to see, just let us know, and we will be happy to cover it. But until then, we are the Choccy-Milkmen. We appreciate everybody for watching. We love you guys. You're the best, and we will see you guys next time.
The moral of the story, witches are real and my mom's tits are fake.